Mr. Speaker, 13 inspectorate reports, one NAO report with damning revelations on Britain's borders that the Tory Home Secretary has shamefully tried to bury or hide. And now he's gone into hiding himself. He should be doing a statement on these reports. They show shocking border security failures. Border and customs posts not staffed. In one airport, they were told customs is shut down for the summer. Equipment either broken, not available or untrusted, lack of anti-smuggling capability, protection of the border is neither effective nor efficient. So tell us, how many times have customs and border posts gone unstaffed this year? Does the Minister even know? How many high-risk private flights weren't checked in person? How long will there be no inspector in post? More findings. Only 2 people removed under the inadmissibility process they claimed would cover tens of thousands. 147 unaccompanied children who went missing, still not found. And on Rwanda, £400 million of taxpayers' money spent even if no one is sent. If 300 people go, it will be £580 million. Over £500 million on a scheme that will cover less than 1% of UK asylum arrivals, nearly £2 million per person. I'll say to the Minister, don't give us any garbage about the Tories having a plan. That's not a plan, it's a farce. Why don't they stop wasting that money and instead put it into rebuilding border security and stopping the criminal gangs? That's Labour's plan. And finally, the revelation that the Home Office has gone a shocking £5 billion over budget this year because they failed on the backlog, on returns, on hotels and on Rwanda. 14 years of Tory government wasting taxpayers' money, weakening Britain's security. They bust the Home Office budget, broken Britain's borders. Instead of hiding and running away, why don't they just get out of the way and let someone else do the job properly instead?
I think that was a contribution to the House full of sound bites, as ever, but absolutely light on policy substance. And, you know, the one thing that we hear time and again from the Right Honourable Lady and her colleagues is a lot of criticism of what the government is doing and absolutely no credible policy alternative in response. And it is incredibly frustrating, and it just won't do, and the British people see straight through it. I share her earlier sentiments in her remarks about the terrible incident that we have seen at the weekend with that young girl losing her life. We've seen yet again in the last few weeks lives lost in the Channel, and that is a source of regret for all of us. That is why this government is absolutely determined to put an end to these crossings of the Channel. We are making progress. That is why the number of crossings last year compared to the year before was down by over a third. Albanian arrivals down by over 90%, but there is more work to do, and we will continue to see through the plan that is delivering on those results. She specifically mentions Rwanda. We have a fundamental point of difference in that we believe, as the government, that the Rwanda policy is an important part of the answer in putting those evil criminal gangs out of business. It is not acceptable to be spending £8 million a day in the asylum system, but actually it doesn't take many £8 million a day to get to the figures which have been provided to the NAO in a transparent manner, and we will continue to publish through the annual report and accounts. But we think it is the right thing to do to advance that policy, to put those criminal gangs out of action, recognising that it is novel and that it has been challenging, but she will, of course, have the opportunity to vote for the Rwanda legislation when it comes back from the other place, and I would certainly encourage her to be in the division lobby with us and her colleagues as well, because it just won't do to have no credible plan. And when she refers to the point about one of the comments that was made in the report, we don't accept that. The inspection only covered a small part of our border operations at a specific location and over a limited period of time. It is a snapshot, and it's inappropriate to draw unsubstantiated wider conclusions through sweeping statements based on a 3-day inspection. Ultimately, Border Force facilitated 132 million passenger arrivals last year, processing over 96% of passengers with service standards. And significant progress has been made since this report was commissioned to increase the numbers of officers trained in vulnerability and behavioural detection, and this is set to continue. We treat the recommendations that come from the Inspector with the utmost seriousness. We get on and deliver on those recommendations, and we've also, as I've set out for the House today now consistently, got a commitment to respond to those reports within 8 weeks.